Good morning, everybody. All right, so today we are going to try to answer the question or to get the closer as we can to the truth to the question, how can I stop caring about the opinion of other people? So, this is to continue the dialogue with a friend of mine, Lisandro Vash, who launched this idea about how can we stop caring about the opinion of other people. In this case, I would like to go further and ask the question, should we or should we not care about the opinion of other people? Obviously, it is very popular nowadays to think, like on the social media, you can see, like, live your life and just don't care about whatever people think of it. It is a very attractive idea, and it's true in some level, but it is not the sole true. Actually, if we want to stop caring about other people's opinion, it would be necessary to first understand why we do care. And there is a function for us as a society to care about whatever other people think. All right, so let's create a scenario. Imagine that you walk into a supermarket to do your shopping, and you see a man doing his shopping for grocery in the middle of the big supermarket, and the man is totally naked, no clothes whatsoever. You would have a reaction. You can laugh, you can be shocked, you can be offended. Whatever it is, you would have a reaction. And the reason is because you are not expecting someone to be in the supermarket, in a public place, without clothes. Our society shares some values, and the way you know if you are well adjusted to the current value of society is by the feedback that you receive constantly from people around you. And you yourself also constantly give feedback to people around you. So there is a function, there is a reason why we judge and why other people judge us. In a way, we can say that we kind of are the police of one another. We judge and we receive judgment or feedback. So there is a reason why our society has some values. It serves us as a society. It does not mean that all values are good. In fact, we can say that values are evolving all the time. For example, maybe 100 years ago, a man who behaved properly should wear a hat. And it would be inappropriate to go in certain public places without a hat. Nowadays, it's no longer true. And the same way, in 100 years, 200, 300 years, the values that we hold as a society are going to be different. So there is a function and a reason why we care about the opinion of others. Now, we need to remember that we have been living for thousands of years in tribes. Very long time ago, we were not organized as a society the same way we are today. So today we live in big society, big cities, and we are a large amount of people living together. But we used to live in very small tribe of maybe 50 people. And those tribes would be living in the wild, hunting. And your very survival as an individual were directly depending on your integration into the tribe. That is to say, if for some reason, if for some behaviors of yours, you would be rejected by the tribe, your chance of survival on your own, alone, in the wild, would be very, very, very small. For that reason, you as a person constantly need to know if you are well adjusted to the tribe, to the value of the tribe. All right, so we are no longer living in tribes, but there is still reason why we actually do care about people's opinions. That way we can judge if our values are adjusted to the value of the society we live in. Now, that is not to say that the value of society are always correct. Because of course, values change. This is dynamic. And it is often the case that the way the value of society change is actually by the people who are willing to take another path and to challenge the current value of society. That's another topic. But we often have the tendency to be a little bit extreme. So, for example, because we recognize that something is wrong in society, we want to throw everything out of the windows. Like everything is wrong. And that's a big mistake. Because a lot of current value that we hold actually serves us as a society. And all right, so this is the first part, which is why actually do we care? There is a reason why we care. Now, the question we would like to ask is, should we care? Is it important that we care? Well, I think it is important to pay attention to the feedback that we receive from society. The same way that as we enter that supermarket and we see that person without clothing, we are giving a feedback to that person. Even if we don't know, just by our reaction, because we are seeing something that we are not expecting, we are giving that person a feedback. We are laughing or whatever, we have a reaction. And that reaction gives that person a feedback which tells to that person, I'm doing something which is not expected. And that person can, how can I put this? At least can become conscious of it. Is that's the reason why we give each other feedback. We receive feedback and we give feedback. And so this is an information. And then you can do whatever you want with that information, but you need to receive that information. So, when does it become a problem? Because it's like everything in life. It's all about balance. We want to find the balance. So, when we arrive at the position where the feedback of people, the information that people gives you, the disapproval that people can give you for the choices that you make, when that is still something important to you, it becomes a block. That's where it becomes a problem. So, of course, you want to see how well adjusted you are in society. But in the same time, you want to live your life. Because you are the only person who actually can live your life. You cannot live your life based on the fears of someone else. For example, your parents love you. They do love you. But they love you, but they love you, but as long as you, it's like this is the misconception we have about love, which is I love you as long as you do this and that. But if you choose to do this and this, I'm going to have to reassess the love I have for you. So your parents may say, okay, I want you to become a doctor. I want you to go to university and to learn how to be a doctor, how to be a lawyer, or whatever it is, like something that they look up to. And you just want to be an artist and be broke or not. So if you choose not to do what you want to do, first you want to listen, of course. You want to pay attention to what people, to the feedback of the people close to you. And you want to see if it makes sense to you. If it makes sense to you. The value and the reason behind might not be in line with the way you perceive your life. In that case, you need to have the courage to do what is right for you, regardless of the disapproval of people. And by doing so, you are actually doing a service for yourself and also for the people who disapprove of your choices. For yourself, you are setting yourself free. And for them, you are sending a message, giving them the opportunity to live in a free manner as well. Because we need to remember that the fear that you have of disapproval is also what the other people, the people who want you to do something, they have the same fear. Often when parents say, I want you to become a doctor, it's because they would like their own ego as a person depend on the fact that their son is a doctor. So you are now like a elder person, can no longer have an ego which is depending on his accomplishment. But then he can say, well, I used to do this, I used to do that. I was the fastest man in my school, whatever it is, I don't know. Whatever accomplishment of each individual. But also the person can say, my son is a doctor. You see? So by be free, by living your life in a free manner, you're giving yourself a service, and as well, you give it to someone else. You give the person the possibility of freeing themselves of this necessity of being approved by the society around them. Now, it is important to understand something. This is of tremendous importance. It is the fact that freedom never, ever travels alone. Freedom always comes with responsibility. responsibility. This is what we tend to avoid. And this is the reason why people don't want freedom. I mean, most, not all, many people don't want freedom because freedom never comes alone. Freedom comes with responsibility. In this case, if you choose to live your life not according to what people expect from you, so if you choose to do something that people around you disapprove of, you're going to have to live with the responsibility of the consequence of it. Many people don't want that. Now, it takes courage, but it's a gift that you give to yourself and to people around you. Because, of course, the others, they also would like to live in a free manner, only if they would have the courage to do it. By having the courage yourself, you are saying to the world around you, if he do it, I can do it as well. All right, so those are my thoughts on this subject, and I send this message back to my friend Lisandro Vaz so we can follow up with this dialogue. Bye-bye.